Dress for Success has definitely evolved over the past 20 years. The women we serve, while there's some semblance of the same woman, and it's that woman who is looking for a hand up, not a help out, and the chance for a new opportunity. She's ready to get to work. She has the tools, she now has the resources, and we provide the opportunity for her to not just dress professionally, but feel confident and ready to land that job in the interview. So in that first year when we suited 117 women, just in that first year, and this year we'll suit 3,500 women, and 60% of those women will have landed jobs. That's the big difference, is that we are a bigger part of the community. We work with 200 agencies who refer low-income, job-ready women to us, and they're ready to work. So they have transportation in place, they have childcare in place, they're ready immediately to go there. So not being a frontline agency over these past 20 years and really working with those women and coaching them to see that they are success stories and see that they're deserving of this job and then building it into a career.
What kind of women come here? What are their backgrounds? And just maybe in a broad, but you know what I'm saying.
In a broad scope.
Yeah.
So the women we serve at Dress for Success are the women of Houston. So it's a broad scale. So we partner with organizations that provide internships for young adults, such as Genesis Works. And then we also work with AARP, who refers women to us. So we have the privilege of serving women from as they're entering the workforce and perhaps entering the workforce for the third or fourth time, depending on their maturity and where they are in their age. We also have the privilege of serving female veterans, and we formally launched that campaign in 2014. And since then, we've had the privilege of serving over 1,000 female veterans. Is that enough?
No,
okay. I'm like, I could go on about like the demographics, and 80% are, you know.
Basically, we just want to get.
You know what I do want to say though, that 90% of the women we serve are single. So, because I think that is okay.
Okay, go ahead.
One constant with the women we serve is that, oh no, that's not going to work. Okay. Of the women we serve, we've found that through our database that 90% of the women, I'm saying we serve twice. Okay. How can I say, okay. So I talk about Genesis Works and AARP, so you could splice this in. The one similarity that a majority of the women we serve have is that 90% of them are single. So the opportunity to come to Dress for Success Houston and not just get a suit, not just land a job, but to have a network of support through the other members and through our volunteers and our supporters, that is invaluable to those women we have the privilege of serving.
90%?
90% are single.
Holy.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a big number.
So I think that's more powerful than, I can talk about 38% are on public assistance and then down to 10% when I talk about the professional women's group.
Typically, who are the women that return to come to the professional women's group and the other types of professional training that you have here?
The women we see that continue beyond the suit in the professional women's group, which is the ongoing career education classes that we offer on Thursday evenings and Saturdays, are those women who may have, that's hard. It's hard because it's like you don't want to be rude to the other women, because some women just can't get here,
right.
Because they have kids who are younger than 4, so they can't be in our child watch. And
let's word it differently then. What is the professional women's group, and what does it do?
Perfect. Okay. The professional women's group is our ongoing career education component that we're excited to share. Sorry, I was trying to say beyond the suit. All right, here we go. in the past 20 years, we have definitely grown beyond the suit. So much of our community knows Dress for Success as, oh, you suit women for their job interviews. And we've had the privilege for the past 16 years now of offering our professional women's group. And that is our ongoing career education component. So while we used to meet only once a month, now we meet at minimum 4 times a month on Thursday evenings and Saturdays to provide the women we serve ongoing career education components such as financial literacy, legal literacy, health and wellness classes, computer classes. So it's really, again, the chance for them to land a job, but build it into a career and providing that network of support for them.
I think the network is probably the best thing.
Yes.
Because you meet people that you never
would meet and that exposure. So Dr. Kleinberg talks about, there are many barriers out of poverty, but the two that we can really define are education and then accessibility to a different peer group. And that's what we're providing. So I don't know if I want to quote him or not quote him or touch on that.
Talk about networking and how important it is to meet new people.
Can I show you something? Okay.
Oh, look at you.
Okay.
Hi.
Yep. I'm going to give you just.
You're just a little shiny on.
I'm going to give you just one. You can just use one of these to
Because
kind
the
of
one you
pat it
look-
down just a little bit, if you don't mind. Just kind of like right on this
Okay,
side
yeah.
a little bit.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, and let me just.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll tell you what I have.
Oh my gosh, so is all of that bad?
No. See, it was good, but then this light is starting to get hot because it is a hot
Oh,
light.
yeah.
So you were great, and then all of a sudden I started noticing it's coming.
The
So
schwitzing.
this is like a translucent, just kind of gets rid of shine. And I do sanitize this if you want to use just a little bit of that.
Try to use
Yeah, you can
just
use
this
that.
top.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, that's it.
That's
That is
it?
right there.
Is it 7:30? I'm just kidding. Okay, better?
Excellent.
Yeah. Got it. Help me make me look good. Network of support.
and coming into a group bigger than yourself.
Yes. Okay. One of our great supporters, Dr. Stephen Kleinberg, who oversees the Kinder Institute at Rice and is one of the foremost voices on poverty and those bridges out of poverty. So there's a lot of different barriers to get out of poverty, but we know the two main ones are education and then its accessibility to a different peer group. So what we have the opportunity to provide at Dress for Success, especially through the professional women's group, is an accessibility to a different peer group. So they're meeting other women who may be right where they are in their journey, or they're meeting women who have gone through our scholarship program and they now have their law degree, or they've received their PhD or their master's. So it's a chance to see other women who have been where they are and now what they've achieved, and then also the chance to meet our volunteers and our speakers that come and present as volunteers and sharing their knowledge and their wealth. Because I always say you only know what you know, or you don't know what you don't know. So if no one's ever shared something with you and you don't have that exposure, how can you succeed if you don't know what appropriate workplace conduct looks like, how to communicate appropriately with your boss, what those unwritten rules look like in the workplace, how to follow up and really be prepared to ask for a raise. You can't just say, I deserve it because I've been here that long. How do you prepare for it? Through our legal literacy program, what are your rights as a tenant, and how to not be litigious, but how to know your rights so you're protecting yourself and your family. So there's a lot of different components that you may not think about as a person who's had access to education or to a family that provided love and support. And for the first time in your life, you may come to Dress for Success, join the professional women's group and say, I found it. I have my sisterhood, as the women say, and that connectivity and the strength to know that I deserve all that is offered at Dress for Success. I deserve that scholarship. I deserve a mentor to help me coach in my career and my personal life. Again, 90% of the women being single, just to share with someone and say, I got that promotion. You know, I took your advice and it worked, and now my colleague and I are working so much better together. Just to share that with someone is invaluable, and that's what we all want. And I think that's what makes the women of the Professional Women's Group they're outstanding, and we all learn from each other.
Good job. All right. How have women like Letisa and Karma and Zinab benefited from the program as you've watched them personally embark on this journey, kind of at separate times, but as you know, as one, as a group?
Letisa, Zinab, and Karma really embody what the benefits of the Professional Women's Group can provide if you take advantage of the resources. These three women are, they're resilient, they're strong, but they're compassionate, and they're incredible ambassadors for the other women. They're present in the meetings, they're open to sharing their stories to new members so that they know, hey, it's been hard for me. You know, it's been hard as a family of immigrants, but I've got my law degree now. You can do it too. You know, I lost my son in a tragic death and served my country and been through layoffs, and look at me now, I'm a successful businesswoman. Going through a divorce, a single mom of 5. Karma's been through 2 traumatic floods. Everything that she's experienced in her life, through the oil and gas crisis, she continues to get promoted. And everyone says, you know, it's the program, it's you all made it happen, it's these programs. If these women didn't take advantage of the programs and really commit to it, it's like going to school. They are the ones who make it happen. It's not us. It's the privilege of being able to expose them to these programs and what they take with it and how they make their lives so much better for themselves, for their families, and for Houston at large. Okay, now you're tearing up, so I'm tearing up.
I know. I had a good experience with Karma the other day.
Oh, they're all, I mean, yeah. Talk about, when my friends complain about certain things, I'm like, just come here. Can I punch you a little bit? You know, like, you don't know what, that's not rough. I mean, I know my knee hurts, your knee hurts, our knee hurts, but it's like, knee hurts. Yeah, anyway, so.
Tell me about the future for Dress for Success.
Okay, this could go on and on. No, I'm just kidding. As we said when we moved into the building, and we're the only affiliate worldwide that purchased land and built our building to solidify the future of Dress for Success. And when we said that, it was our 15-year anniversary, and we said our future is so bright, and it is so bright. We have an incredible team. We have incredible programs in place. Our supporters are none like any, I feel like, in Houston. They are committed to the women. They're committed to the outcomes. They see the results and the impact we're providing them. We definitely see more. We definitely need to expand. We need a parking garage. I'm looking at, since it is a network of support, to do an online portal and to have classes where you're just, maybe sitting in your pajamas on a Saturday morning watching a class. You're missing that connectivity. So how can we partner with perhaps libraries in the greater Houston area, or companies that have branches in Sugar Land and Katy in the Woodlands, and have our ambassadors lead the classes? So it's a live video streaming, but there's still at least 10 women in a room having breakfast together and can download together. Because if they're alone watching, some presentation from a life coach or whatever the subject may be, it's not the same as making friends and having someone to call when good and challenging things happen. So the future is definitely bright, and there's definitely room to grow, and we're excited, we're ready for it, and we look forward to being able to continue to serve thousands of women each year. Is that good?
That was great.
So when you put it out there, it's got to happen, right?
That's great. Should we, now I don't know to what extent, you know, your relationship with each of these three ladies is, or how much you know about each of their stories. But I wonder if
So I'll start with Zainab. So I had the privilege of meeting Zainab a few years back. I actually was able to suit her, which is so nice, and it's such a connection. And you could feel her energy right away. She is so charismatic and passionate, and she's just fun. She has a great spirit through that desire to learn and grow and be better and be the best immigration attorney that there is. She also has this fun, whimsical spirit. I mean, she'll show up at the holiday party in a funny Santa sweatshirt and her red lipstick and her red hijab, and it's just, she really embraces what the American dream is, for her parents to come here and make the sacrifices they did for her family. Is just beautiful to see, and that's why we're all here. And she's done it, and she and her husband are gonna, now build their own life together, and it makes me really proud. I'm so happy for her, and she's such a great voice for us. Good?
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a hijab, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so, but
Hijab or
hijab.
Hijab.
Hijab. Okay, well,
Just say hijab a couple times for me.
hijab.
I know,
And a little
right?
bit more, because we can probably place it to space.
Like, if it's
place it
wrong, I
together.
can
Okay.
fix it.
Yeah, you can fix it.
Just say she was wearing her hijab.
She was wearing her red hijab. Okay.
All right.
With her red lipstick. Like, I'll never forget, she walked in and we're all like just cracking up. Like a holiday party, and here's the like
She probably
Muslim
knows
girl,
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
she is so funny. I love her. Okay, Karma. I can't exactly remember meeting Karma, but I always like remember Karma.
Well, the thing, even what
Or what do
said,
you-
even what you said before, I think was pretty good. But maybe we just isolate her story. You're just talking about being a single mother of
Yes.
5 kids. And the one thing that is pretty cool, just maybe as a reminder, of course, every mother loves their kids, but she is like best friend with her kids.
Yes.
Watching them together
Yes.
is just like they adore her, she adores them. It's a very unique relationship
Mm-hmm.
that you don't see every day with parents and their kids.
Right.
And so that's one thing that I think is pretty neat. And of course, she was.
Oh, I can talk about Mother's Day when they all came.
Perfect.
They call her the good Karma.
No way.
Which, yes,
Yes,
like
mention that.
that's a good,
All right.
that's a good one. Okay, thank you. Karma is incredible. She is the embodiment of what you think of when you think of a mom, when you think of a friend, someone's confidant, someone's supporter. Her kids adore her, and for very good reason. I remember when they all came to our Mother's Day brunch together for the professional women's group, and to see Karma walk in with her 5 kids, and they were all just so proud of her. They were so excited to see Dress for Success and where she's gone to continue to grow professionally and personally. And the way they connect with her, hug on her, and their praise, they're so cute. They say, my mom's the good karma. She's the good kind of karma. And it's true. She is one of the neatest women I've ever had the privilege of meeting. And she's resilient. She continues to grow and excel regardless of what is put in front of her. And I think that's something that everyone could learn from and benefit from taking in on their lives. Good?
All right. Good job.
Okay. Letisa. Oh, girl. I don't even know. Oh, I feel like every time I see her, she's like telling me what's up in a good way. Like she's so strong and
Stand by 1 second. My head up here.
That truck too.
yeah, this construction
Wanna
is
knock
just,
on the window and go,
Let's just pour concrete all day.
I know. They had been down there.
I think it's going to be going for a while. That is the concrete truck. I think probably
That's what I was thinking.
pouring it out.
Well, let's get some room tone afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell you what, get the room tone now.
Now, yeah, you're right.
While we're doing this.
Just
Are you
quiet.
rolling?
Yep, I'm rolling.
Okay. Just 30 seconds of silence for room tone. Or maybe we'll get this during the silence. We got a little bit there. Let's go ahead.
Okay, all right, let's do
Go
this.
for it.
Okay. Letisa is a powerhouse. She is one of the strongest, energetic, deliberate women I've ever met. For her to share her story, I think is very vulnerable for a woman of her stature, what she's experienced in her life, for her to write her book so that other mothers who have lost a child can hopefully, rise through depression or get through their emotions in a way that's not so isolating is incredible. She always comes in, she's got a smile on her face. You give her a task, she's like, I got it. She wants to be the best ambassador and always put her best foot forward to represent her country, represent her past and her future and where she's gone to. I mean, her travels for work, her promotions at work, she's such a special woman. And I'm so glad that I know her in my life and the women of the Professional Women's Group can have her as an ambassador and a leader for them as well.
Do you mind, that was great. Do you mind also on her just touch, because she is involved in, is she involved some in teaching or just like what does she do here now?
She'll lead, that's why I was saying an ambassador.
Yeah.
So she'll lead she'll introduce speakers, she'll lead different,
Maybe since
like smaller classes.
Because ambassador people may not know what you mean by that. So say what you just said. She comes in and she does this, she'll introduce blah, 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 and she came in, but now she is giving back through the organization.
Yes,
Whatever.
okay.
Something along those lines.
And I can use ambassador and define it
Sure.
so that you can,
Absolutely. Perfect.
if you need both or whatever. Letisa is an incredible ambassador for the women in the Professional Women's Group and as well for our veterans population that we serve. And she comes in and she's now introducing speakers. She's leading smaller sessions of groups so that she is a mentor. She is a voice for these other women and can share with them, take advantage of what the Professional Women's Group has to offer and the support that Dress for Success provides, because you can get to where I am and beyond if you believe in yourself and come to the classes and meet women like me. I mean, she is definitely such a voice and through that an ambassador for all the women we serve. Was that?
I think
Okay.
that was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Tap out. I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't talk about though was Nancy, the veterans program.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I guess I did mention since 2014 we've served 1,000 female vets,
Yeah,
but
we did say that.
okay. Do you think that's
I think we'll be
Good.
fine.
bastante? Okay.
All right.